What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Knight, back again, VD4GM this time. We are here with everybody's favorite Daddy Bro 72, the major Minecraft player over here.
Hello.
My name's Jeff. Anyways, and then everybody knows our least favorite Coast Guard guy right down here, Psych Ward.
You're so mean.
I know. What can I say?
If it makes you feel better about yourself, you can keep doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, he went there.
He did. He went like trying to guilt trip me or something. What is this madness? Let me pull up my stream here to watch the chat because I did see some chat come through, didn't I? Yes, I did. Look at that.
It's just me saying hello.
And then there's Goddess. Hello, Goddess. Hello. So anyways, how's everybody doing? Great Thanksgiving. I know the three of us did because we pigged out. Like we made out like bandits. I don't think
I still got the meat sweats.
As long as you didn't get the bubble guts. That's all that matters.
No, I'm good. I'm good. The wife survived too. I was surprised. I was expecting a trip to the emergency room that night, but it all went good.
See, there we go. That's what
it all went out. It turned out really well.
Nice. Fantastic. Tonight, I know we're going to be kind of a little bit of, we're going to talk about some D&D stuff. We're going to talk about some other stuff that might morning. Sorry, my hair is bugging the crap. Anyways,
I'm having some issues with the audio.
A little bit of
too.
Yeah, your audio's going in and out, dude.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Is this better?
I got my stapler.
Do I need to get closer? Do I need to get?
No, I think you bumped it with your arm when you were playing with your hair.
It's still kind of cutting in and out because you
just put my hands in front of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't actually talking. I was just moving my lips and not actually.
He's being a smart aleck.
Okay. Yeah. You know when you watch like the Fire Stick and it's not synced? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. He's doing Kung Fu Theater. That's what that is.
Okay, that apparently has been happening all day today. That is not just a now thing. That's been happening all day long. Don't know why.
Cogs are bad.
Yeah, exactly. Big chocolate salty ball.
Easy,
anyways,
big.
So, where are we at? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, okay. So a little bit of trigger warning. We're gonna right. Then we're also going to talk about some of what I've been getting bugged about for like 2 months. 2 months from this one down here about keys to the Golden Vault.
Keys?
A little bit about that. My niece. So after this,
keys from the Golden Vault.
We're going to be streaming. What in the world is going on? USB device not recognized. Everything should be recognized. I don't get it. Anyways. And of course my computer just got all kinds of twisted up when I jumped up out of the chair and went to get. Can you guys still hear me?
In and out.
Yeah. Briefly.
You guys can hear me though, right?
Yeah, now I can.
Good, fantastic. We're doing great, guys. We're doing fantastic tonight. It's a fantastic Saturday.
He can't hear us. That's why he's saying that.
Yeah. That's
there we go.
It reminds me of like the comms expert telling you you're ready to go on your first mission, right? You know everything's gonna break on the way.
And then it does, and he's all to blame, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, I used to be that guy.
Everything that's in everything that's important.
Yeah, you want
state back doesn't come through.
Let me show you. Let me show you what happens in the military. Okay, so hey, is there?
That's about it, right there.
Where'd he go?
oh wait. there I am.
So
right. Yeah. Anyways,
And that's after you gave the code for like danger close or whatever, right? And then like you didn't get the coordinates out properly or whatever it was, so everybody's scrambling to get someplace safe. Yeah. So
35
Mao.
no, 35 no.
Diddy Mao out of there.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yep.
Mhm.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's about right. So anyways,
You guys are just wrong on so many levels.
Hey, we got to, man. We have to. So, all right. So let's jump right into it. We got our laughs in there. We're doing good. My dogs are barking, talking in the other room. That's fantastic.
yeah, my toddlers are screaming at each other, telling them they should both be sleeping. So the 5-year-old's coaching the 3-year-old.
Close your eyes.
They're taking shifts. That's what they're going to be doing soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
pretty
So,
much.
all right, let's get into a little bit of it. Where do we want to start at? Do we want to start off with the trigger warning, or do we want to start off with some
I
D&D
guess.
stuff?
Yeah, we can. Well, I don't even know if it's a trigger thing. So,
Well, I mean, as somebody with PTSD, like talking about it sometimes actually can be a trigger. So,
yeah, this is more like the methods that they're using to treat it, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I could see that.
So yeah, but either way, so there will be some discussions about treatment that's being used for PTSD and some of the studies that are being done from the American Psychological Association, and some of these came from the Australian Psychological Association as well.
Oh
Some
well,
of the
yeah.
studies.
Everything that comes out of their mouth is, proper.
Usually it has something to
Right.
do with the beer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fosters.
So,
Australians don't drink Fosters.
Shush. Nobody's asking.
What's wrong with you?
So, but anyways, yeah, no, it'll be. There's a lot of good stuff that we've got here. There's some studies I was able to pull up to get a little bit more details on some of the stuff we talked about for VD4GM and the fact that really the whole purpose behind this is to provide some form of treatment to veterans and first responders and medical workers and all that stuff that have some form of PTSD, right?
Mhm.
But there's also other treatments out there that are talked about in some of these studies as well, as far as like autism and some of the other what they've state as like different mental illnesses that are out there, things that can help with this. And so it's not always just PTSD. It can be like trauma based stuff that's not necessarily PTSD like specified. It can be autism. It can be there's a few different things out there. But all of that said, all of the studies speak directly to Dungeons and Dragons as the tabletop role playing game that they used for these studies, right?
Right.
So just to deep dive it, there's 4 or 5 papers that I've really read through. They're all peer-reviewed studies. We can link them someplace for everybody to go see if they want. It's obviously all public information. Some of it is behind paywalls, but I have access to it through some of the schools that I've gone to. So I was able to pull some of that stuff so we can still store it, someplace. But one of the cool things that I was able to run across was, and this was part of figuring out how do we get the VA kind of involved in this whole process and eventually helping us monetarily get funding for veterans to help with this, and also to get um, treatment set up from actual therapists, right, from the VA to say, yes, you can use these things. These are deemed as treatment. And then veterans can use that to say, yes, I've been going to these sessions or whatever as treatment instead of having to go to the VA or whatever that looks like. So um, that was some of the possibilities we had talked about, and from doing that I deep dove some of these studies. So in the studies I found, it touched on the fact that role playing has always been something that's in psychology, right? Like it's always been something they've used in treatment for psychology. Um, but the actual study of looking at how tabletop role playing games uh, intermingle with psychology is fairly still in its infancy, really. There's been quite a few, well, there's been 5 or 6 qualitative studies done. There's only been one quantitative study. And so what for anybody that's not familiar with how that works, like qualitative means something that you can get from either verbal understanding or by watching somebody, or there's different things that you can look at, and so but there's no quantitative numbers behind like what's happening, right?
Hmm.
Whereas in your quantitative study will actually like deep dive into like, okay, like all the people that we're studying have exactly the same issues and they're all on the same stage, and these are the things that we did to like capture the studies and so on and so forth. So there has been one of those done so far. And it was through UC Santa Barbara, I think, was the one that did that. Um, so anyways, to dive into that a little bit more, before I do you guys have any questions, or have you heard of this before? Like anything that I think we've slightly talked about it, that there's probably stuff out there, but I don't know if we've ever brought this specific
I'm
topic.
familiar with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I think we're all fairly familiar with it.
Mhm.
At least we should be.
Something that I thought was really interesting was, um, and this is a whole different study and topic, but there are studies right now that are being done off of synthetic mushrooms, basically. People are going down to Mexico and stuff and doing some of these treatment methods and stuff, and because it's not deemed legal yet in the United States, but it's been super helpful, and the people that go through it say that it's not something that they would do as a recreational, because it's not fun, if you will, right? But it
Right.
gets them through something, and it gives them breakthroughs.
Mm.
And some of those breakthroughs and some of the studies and some of the um uh what's the word I'm looking for? Some of the discussion points that I've heard people have on that seem very similar to what they're trying to do with like role playing and these really deep diving into like the psyche of a person, right? And like how it changes them. So um did you have anything on that, Daddy bro? Look
Well,
like you're
yeah,
looking
I
behind
I,
you.
I think one of the things you might be referring to is ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people have done that, and it is not a pleasant experience, by the way. And I'm by no means recommending anyone do this,
Mm-hmm.
but you basically go down to South or Central America. You go in the woods, like way out in the jungle, and you meet with a shaman, and you have to be on a specific diet. I think it's for 30 days before. You have to do what's
Mm-hmm.
technically a cleanse. And you go to these they're usually really nice facilities, and then you have they call it medicine, and it's like this green goop you drink, and you have a series of events, and there's a shaman there, and they're singing songs, and they're beating drums and doing all this stuff, and you're basically puking and pooping yourself into oblivion. And the idea is to reach it's kind of a natural DMT is what it really comes down to, and you reach a quote unquote point of enlightenment. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people talk about meeting like aliens and stuff. It's pretty intense stuff, and it is not for the meek or weak of heart. If you're someone who's got a really nasty, like say you have a bad heart condition, this is not something you would be doing.
Yeah.
And people literally roll up in balls and start bawling for their mom. All kinds of crazy stuff happens.
What you tend to
Um,
see, like the people that are using this the most are like tier one guys coming out of this,
yep,
like the teams and CIA and like all that stuff, right? Like they're going down to do this stuff because their PTSD is at such a peak, right? Like such at a
Hmm.
high level because they've seen so much stuff, right? Like in like you're talking 20 years of it, of like back to back just craziness.
yeah,
And this is one of the things I guess that has helped them.
yeah.
Um, but from hearing some of those um, discussions that I've seen on that, uh, it tends to kind of come back to the same thing, that it's deep diving your psyche, right? Because it's going back to like how you got there in the first place, like what's triggering the issues, how do you fix it, like, and it's kind of the same as like what they used to do with the medicine men in like the different tribes and stuff, right? It's very
Yep.
similar to that. So, anyways, back on this topic though, that the reason I bring that up is because it has a close tie to it. Um, the idea behind the role playing that they've used through D&D to talk about was there's 5 different stages that people go through. And in these stages, it's considered a recovery model, and the model itself, and it's actually Dean or coined that, the recovery model. Um, and the idea behind that is that um, there's 5 different stages you go through in this recovery model. And the first stage is moratorium, which is when you're doing the role playing tabletop games. You are creating characters that represent you in some form or way, whether it's your positive sides or your weaknesses or whatever it is. But what they see is a lot of people tend to build characters that represent that side of them. And then the next stage that it goes into, and so the idea behind that is that's when they're fairly new to it. They haven't experienced it before. They don't really know what they're doing with it. The second stage that they go into is awareness. And so at this point, they're aware that they're doing this, or they're, even if they're not consciously aware of it, their brain's aware of it, right? Like there's something in their subconscious that's aware that it's happening. So there's a form of awareness, is what they call it, and it means now that you are creating these characters and taking steps that things that you would feel uncomfortable, or things that you think that you wouldn't necessarily share if your walls were up and things like that, you're doing in your character form, right? So you're then pushing the limits a little bit more than you were before. After that, you get to a preparation stage. And the preparation stage, you're now getting to the point where you are comfortable uh, with experimenting different values, or like emotions or things that your character would do that you want to try to experiment with for yourself, but you're doing it through your character. So that's preparation. And then rebuilding is, you're at a point now where you are comfortable stepping outside of your comfort zone, and you're building characters that are way outside like what your norm would be. So you're no longer building, these characters that are representing you, but you're building something that, like, if you played it and somebody knew you for 20 years, they'd be like, yeah, this has nothing to do with you, right? Even though there might be stuff intertwined in it that they wouldn't know about, it wouldn't be like a direct representation.
Right.
And then the last stage is growth. And that's at the point where you can literally go to the table and say, okay, I feel confident and I feel comfortable doing this, and everybody at the table I feel comfortable with, or in the game world, or whatever you want to call that, right? And it's no longer something that you look at as a treatment. It's more of a hobby, or something that you do for fun at that point, right? And you're
Right.
still building yourself, but you're no longer going to that whole like finding yourself stage, if you will, like all
Yep.
those different stages. So those are like the 5 sections that it kind of touches on. It goes in some really interesting details, on how this like therapeutic method helps individuals experiencing like new ways of thinking and challenging their existing behavioral patterns and things like that. And then it also discusses some things in here about uh, there's in the recovery modes, there's forms where they can like develop a transformed self sense of identity, and that's what we're getting back to, like the whole finding your tribe, right? A lot
Right.
of people lose their identity when they leave the military. And so it literally talks about it in here, where it's talking about it's important for people in a mental health recovery to develop a transformed sense of identity and establish a new internal narrative characterized by the resilience and growth and so forth. So it kind of goes more into detail about that. But really, what they're saying is you're refinding what your new tribe needs to look like. Um,
Right.
and so that's kind of where this takes you in that growth. Like once you go through all those stages, that's where it takes you. So, anyways, I don't know. you guys know I nerd out on this stuff anyways. Like I enjoy like deep diving this stuff and like really reading into it.
Mhm.
So yeah, just good stuff all around, or I think it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it's good. Like, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we need to be getting into. Sib actually has a question though. What book or article are you actually
sure.
talking about?
So
I forgot to unmute after talking to my sister. So, okay,
yeah, so the
post
article
that up
I'm
there.
directly speaking to is an article out of the Australian Psychological Association, and it's called "Defeating Dragons and Demons: Consumers' Perspectives on Mental Health Recovery in Role-Playing Games." So it's a peer-reviewed study that was done through the Australian College of Applied Psychology in Sydney, Australia. And so yeah, it definitely has a lot of good sections there. They deep dive if you're interested in going and like reading it. They deep dive some of the methods that they took and the studies that they put together and how they built the studies out. And then they actually have like questionnaires that they go through and talk to people about, and like people that are actively using it as a treatment. Um, and so yeah, they go through and discuss it. And again, this is all a qualitative, not a quantitative study. So
So yeah, here we go. He's pulling it up here. It says pulled it up so I can check it out later.
sure.
And he's gonna go back and rewatch us talking about it some more.
And
So
there's other studies too, and like I said, I can post some of those if you want to post that information later, because there's
yeah,
3 other
yeah,
studies I read.
absolutely.
But if we went through each one of these, it would be a
Yeah,
6-hour
for
podcast.
yeah,
So
that's true.
So
That's
when
true.
are we going to the Amazon to do ayahuasca? I have seriously thought about doing it for
Oh,
years.
yeah,
hey,
I have a friend who he's done it twice.
okay.
And this dude, now listen, this dude played college football. He was in the teams. He came back extremely depressed.
Mhm.
He was in the teams for 15 years, and he really had issues. He went down there, and I shit you not, he is now a surfer dude in Hawaii. He's from the Midwest. Okay. And all he does now is he hangs out on the beach in Hawaii and he surfs. And he's like, he grew his hair out, he grew a beard. He's like, dude, I'm one with the waves. And I'm like, what the fuck are you? He was not that dude. He was
right.
not. And it all changed when he came back after having his ayahuasca adventure. I'm
Oh,
down. Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Let's.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
book a trip.
Sib's all for it.
I got this
Yeah.
thing. I got children and a wife, and
he's got responsibility.
I got the adult responsibility. Pretty horrible. I got a daughter. That's the daddy part of the bro name right there.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. He's got a little bit of that non fixable responsibilities that he's got to
Yeah.
take care of.
I have none of that.
I'll do your share too.
Oh well, good luck. Good luck with that.
In your honor.
I wish you well. Better bring a big bucket because from what I hear, it shoots out of both ends. It's pretty rough. You know,
oh man.
but he swears by the stuff and he's like, dude, you gotta go. You gotta go with me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to end up getting naked and living in the jungle or in the woods somewhere banging bongos. I'm not gonna do that.
I wouldn't
I can
mind
see that. I can
doing it
totally see it.
once the kids are like out of the house and in college or whatever, and like like things are good or whatever, like I could actually do something like that. It'd be different, but
Mhm.
Oh, are you
that's a lot
kidding
of
me?
years away. So
Psych's gonna be the one smoking pot every day. Like I have to now. I have to.
I've
Well-
never been like it was around when I was younger and stuff, and because I grew up just outside of Humboldt, like that whole area, like where it
Yeah.
was very prevalent. And
Yeah.
Denton was really bad.
You should
Denton-
come. You should come to Kensington, PA. I'll show you some crazy stuff. They don't call it Zombieville for nothing. That's right outside
Oh
of Philly.
man,
That's close to where I grew up.
Iowa's got it real like
Yeah.
It's not pot. Pot is not prevalent in
No, you guys are
Iowa.
meth heads in Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa was meth heads. I was like, God, like
Yeah,
where
we
half your teeth
specialize
go?
in crack cocaine and what's the other one? The big one is that new drug. I can't think of what
Fentanyl.
it's fentanyl. That's the one.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We're the fentanyl
Nasty
kings
stuff.
of the world now, apparently. So I would say I was never a pothead because I'm a control freak, and I simply and like I've had opportunities where I've had people, hey man, let's do some mushrooms. I'm like, dude, if I do the shrooms, I'm gonna listen to the voices, and there's gonna be bodies. This ain't gonna go well for you. You're
Hey.
$1.50 soaking wet.
So I fall in line with the I did smoke pot and I did inhale.
Yeah, no,
I'm not like Obama.
no, I didn't do it.
So
I've tried edibles, I think twice, and both times it felt like someone scooped my eyeballs out.
Yeah, I mean I experimented a little bit before doing the whole
ooh, where
military
I
and
lived
college thing
in
and all that stuff,
Tennessee,
whatever.
number
But
3 in the nation for opioids.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
You in Memphis there, buddy? That sounds like Memphis to me. I got a good friend from there. I had to do 10 G of shroom. Oh, 10 grams.
wow.
feel anything, and I definitely felt it.
Yeah, for like a month. No, sir. Campbell. Okay, you're further out. Okay, I know where you're at. I
My
got a real good friend from Tullahoma. Check this one out, guys. My friend's from Tullahoma, Tennessee. Okay, that's where they make Jack Daniels, right?
Mm.
It's a dry county.
Yeah.
You can't buy Jack Daniels in that county,
Oh wow.
but they make it there.
Yeah.
That's the crazy stuff I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Right.
Yeah. No,
But you want to talk about country? Woo! Them
Where
boys.
I lived in Greenville, Tennessee for a little while, and yeah. Oh, you want to talk about real country? Okay, let me tell you what's really country about Greenville, Tennessee. All right, in Greenville, Tennessee, you know what the supermarket is?
So did I.
Dollar General. It's a Dollar General supermarket.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't they have Piggly Wigglies down there too?
They do, but not in Greenville.
No.
In Greenville, no. The supermarket. It's a Dollar General supermarket. Like you go in, it looks like a grocery store, but everything's
Crazy.
like $5, $10.
I used
You're
to
like,
like going to those like when you're doing trips across, like you're doing like a Diddy move or whatever it was, where you have to like move across the states.
Oh, I
And
haven't heard that
you would-
term in a long time.
right?
Did he move? Oh, I just had a flashback and it wasn't good.
I was
Right.
thinking, what are you doing with Diddy moves? Like, what kind of stuff are you trying to pull?
Like well, on top of that too, you go get all the water barrels and fill them up and put them in the truck and take them to the weigh station and then
So
But
stupid.
anyways,
Oh man,
I did not hear that, nor did I take part.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, traveling across some of those like really small rural areas where like the supermarket is like the mom and pop store that's been there since like 1905. Like,
Yeah.
and it's literally like 3 lanes inside the store and like that's what they have. But yeah.
we had a Piggly Wiggly in Denton all the way up until I moved out of Denton. The Piggly Wiggly was open.
Well, that's because you were buying everything from there.
I always
Probably.
thought it was funny was they have Carl's Jr. on the west and Hardee's on the east, right? Same company.
Mhm.
But then like there's sparse to be found either one of them in Texas. Like you can
Yeah.
find
'Cause
one or
we-
two here and there. Like for
That's
whatever
because we
reason.
don't like crap like that.
It's true. It is true.
It doesn't
But
translate well.
you know why? Because we have Jack in the Box.
You know, crack in the hat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, but no, I don't know. Like I said, it was cool to be able to find some of the like I was purposely deep diving it to try to get more information to feed into VD4GM and also part of the purpose, right? Of like what we were driving. So yeah, Jack in the Crack. But Taco Hell, Jack in the Crack, all that good stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Jack in the Box sucks.
Oh man.
I have a story with Taco Bell. I've been to
Oh.
Taco Bell before at 2:00 in the morning, and they were out of beans and rice. I
What?
was like, "What in the hell kind of Taco Bell is?"
Do you know that if you I know this because I was a restaurant manager for years, and I had a lot of friends that were managers at Taco Bell. I went in the back of one of these places once, and their meat, it comes in a box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the FDA standard is to stamp on the box what kind of grade meat it is. It said, and I shit you not, this is God honest truth. Grade D, but edible is the meat.
Great, deep, but edible.
That's what they serve to prisoners.
Went to KFC 3 times and they were out of most of their chicken.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, KFC does that all the time, though.
yeah. And
They're
two
constantly,
different.
and that's again, that's because they're poorly managed, I would argue. But
I've had some of those issues recently with Panda Express.
oh
You go to
man,
Panda
I love
Express and
Panda
try to get
Express.
something like they're out of.
Don't
like,
don't
They're
say bad
always out
things
of-
about Panda Express. I love
They're
that.
always out of. They're always out of teriyaki chicken though.
You know what they
Nah.
don't run out of? The cabbage they put in their fucking noodles.
Cabbage.
Oh,
They load that shit up. But anyway,
Wow.
we could never run out of cabbage. Never. Don't do it.
No kimchi.
When we get it,
for
we get it
you.
in bulk. We get it in bulk.
right.
Oh God.
Cool.
So yeah.
More to follow up on that though in the future, and like I think there'll be some articles that we're gonna put in there, and or at least links that come
Yeah,
from
we're gonna-
like our web pages and all that stuff, and so
Mhm.
people can follow some of this.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
hopefully we can use some of these to steer where we want like the VA to start looking, and how do we push this into actual like treatment, and how do we eventually get a brick and mortar location and get all this stuff going, like all of those things that we want to do in the future, right?
Yep.
So
Yep, exactly.
so anyways,
So when are you going to open a dispensary?
I actually have a really this is way off topic, but my entrepreneurship plan that we put together, we actually, so in order to graduate from Syracuse with your entrepreneurship degree, you actually have to write a business plan that gets a
Right.
certain amount of money funded for it, right?
Oh,
Or could get a certain amount of, so you actually have real venture capitalists that are telling you how much they would give you for the project, and if you were
Whoa.
able to like provide them something, like they would actually get it off the ground. The problem I've ran into is finding specific mechanical engineers and electrical engineers to build the product. But anyways, the idea is a machine that can mix and produce lotions on the spot with concentrated oils,
okay.
like natural oils. But with that, you could also put like the oils from marijuana and all that stuff in it too.
CBD extract.
CBD oils and all that stuff. Yeah, so you could put that in, and it could actually, and because the technology comes from the medical field originally, it's the same thing that Coke Freestyle machine uses and all that stuff. So,
Right.
anyways, so you can
Okay.
dispense it per the milliliter or whatever it is, right? Like you can get really granular with it, but so you could use that. Anyways, I've got a whole business plan.
So what he's
developed.
actually saying is he's selling sex dolls. Just saying.
That would be awesome.
No big deal. I'm just messing,
I
man.
wish.
I'm sorry.
You,
I
you
couldn't
get the you
resist.
get the lotion, and like to like part
Puts
of the
lotion
deal
on
with
its
the
skin.
lotion, it also gives you like a folded up like plastic doll that comes out with it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. So you got a link?
Right.
It's for a
Or a
friend.
friend.
Right,
It's for a
right,
friend.
exactly.
You've been sitting on your hand again.
Yeah. Right.
Stranger game. Okay.
Oh man.
But
That's
anyways,
Sorry, I couldn't help
what
myself.
was really cool is because Syracuse was very open. The guy that was running their entrepreneurship program, he owns, I can't remember the name of the company, but they literally break apart at the atom level, the molecular, how do you say that? Molecular level
Yeah.
of like the plants. Okay,
Ooh.
go. You're supposed to be sleeping. And so they break it apart and they find out what they can use from the plant to subsidize for what the pharmaceutical companies are providing.
Right.
And so anyways, and he's been offered a lot of money to go away.
Oh, I bet.
And so,
Yeah, I'm sure.
so anyways, but he's done a lot of research on it, and that's his deal, and he's the chair for their entrepreneurship program at Syracuse. And so
cool.
anyways, we actually had a consulting project where they came in and explained to us like how you build how you build an umbrella company, and you have like the marijuana company and a company that has all the materials and all that stuff and provides it through, like, they lease the people and the equipment and all that stuff to the marijuana company. So if the marijuana company ever gets seized, they don't lose their equipment.
Right.
So there's this whole process of building an umbrella company and all that stuff behind it. Is really very interesting and very detailed. But you can also, the way that it's paid for and the way the money exchanges hands is that company that's the umbrella company can actually put their money into an FDIC controlled bank without having to worry about it getting seized.
Wow.
So anyways,
There you go.
it was a really cool, it was one of our residencies that we had to do.
Yeah, I know that there's actually a CBD group that's working with the VFW now.
Mhm.
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name of it. 1 second, let me see if I can get it real quick.
Well, I want to know when they're going to make it.
It's De Vega CBD,
Hmm.
and they actually got a sponsorship with the VFW, and they're trying to push selling it at the VFW posts.
Cool.
And
Right.
yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. You know,
I'm waiting to see them. Have they knocked it off as a? Isn't it a Schedule 2 right now? Considered Schedule 2 narcotic or something?
So in the state of Texas, there are 3 cities that actually have legalized.
Yeah, and I'm talking at the federal level.
On a federal level, I don't know.
I think it's still considered Schedule 2, and
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah,
And everybody knows why it's a Schedule 2, by the way. I think everybody knows. And if they don't, here, let me tell you why. There's this nifty thing called the pharmaceutical world.
Yeah.
And now you need to understand, I am not a proponent of this stuff at all. In fact,
Mm.
I have in debate in college and graduate school and all the different levels I've been at, I have always argued against it. But the more I have learned about it, the more I've actually researched it, the more I've come to the realization that this is a really medicinal. There are great medicinal uses of this.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
we
the bottom line is the reason nobody knows anything about it is because it's been Scheduled 2 since the early 70s, right?
Mhm.
So you can't, by law, you can't get a grant and do a test on it. Guess who funded that? Want to take 3 guesses?
I mean, I'm going to say somewhere in the lines of like Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah, it's all of them.
slash-
They all
yeah.
pitched money into it because they did not want, because that will undermine them. It'll put them out of business.
Oh yeah.
And what originally started everything back in the 20s and 30s is when they
Mhm.
launched the original tax stamp on everything to make
Right.
it not legal anymore, was that hemp at the time was starting to get to a point to where it could be more beneficial than paper or cotton. And
Mhm.
Right.
both of those mills obviously wanted to push that and make that go away. And so they
Yep.
were able to get tax stamps put in place for that. So
And this is one of the big problems that I've always had with our system, the fact that lobbyists are more important than people.
Yeah.
Check this out though. You mean you've looked into something and changed your opinion based on data and research?
I
Good
know
on
it's
you.
crazy.
Yeah.
I will.
It's- And I'm going to tell you something. Look, I'm a good debater. I'm someone who I would crush you because I know both arguments and I get
Mhm.
it. I get why people are opposed, but I also understand why people would want to use it. I have seen firsthand what it can do for people that really need it.
Yep.
And
I
what
will. I'll
infuriates
be
me
right
is the
back. I
fact,
got to go put these toddlers
Okay.
in line really quick.
good luck.
Yeah.
Happy hunting.
We'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, no, like
So my problem is simple. The federal government is, as per usual, way behind the battle curve on this. And I'm hopeful, and I may be smoking wacky weed, but I am not pun intended. I'm hoping that Trump takes out the big whacking stick and knocks it off of Schedule 2. Because the minute he does that, there are so many states that's why they haven't legalized it.
Mhm.
And that's been the argument that the opposition has made for years. Oh, well, it's still a Section 2 or whatever, Class 2 narcotic. It's ridiculous.
It's not even a narcotic. That's the
that's the
stupid thing.
point. My other favorite one is it's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Usually easy to see both sides of
They've
an
done
argument.
60 years of study that shows it's just not the case. It's just not. That's not how it works.
Right.
Yeah, and it that was all based around really bad science. It's
Mhm.
usually easy to see both sides of an argument, but people refuse to look past their own opinions. Well, yeah, that's the thing, though. I have split personality problems, so I don't have a problem with that. The problem is getting my arguments to agree with each other, because yeah, it creates real problems sometimes.
Mhm.
I can't abide the stupid that goes on in the federal government right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't
No,
care who's running it. I don't care if it's Republican or whatever. I don't care. If you're doing bad things, you're doing bad things. And right now they're doing really dumb things. And there's no excuse for it. There's zero.
right.
And you know, all this identity stuff that's going on, and the fact that, you know, let's be honest, for the last since 2019, science has pretty much taken a backseat to reality.
Yeah.
And don't tell me that it hasn't, because I'm telling you, if you apply the scientific method, which they didn't, you would understand what I'm talking about.
To 2020, you mean?
Yeah, well, when COVID hit. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit over here and drink my tea.
Yeah. As I drink my tea, please refrain from sending long messages. Oh, what happened?
Oh, don't worry about it. I
Yeah,
got
the
it.
moderators.
Yeah, my personal finance teacher in high school made a lot of arguments that you are now. I instigated it, doing a project on our future job, and I put meth dealer because the city was. Goodness gracious, man, that one is a long one. And it became a conversation for about 20 minutes. Okay.
Did you say
Yep.
meth dealer?
Yeah, I see a meth dealer.
Why would you want to
Because
be
the
a
city
meth? I don't know
was
if
also
methamphetamine.
bad for meth, and I made sure to point out when I could, and it could become a conversation for about 20 minutes.
Dealing meth?
No,
That one's a stretch.
Project on our future job, and I put meth dealer. But I don't know if I'd want to. Yeah, but
We call them road chemists where I'm from.
oh, it wasn't a genius answer though. It wasn't a genius answer. I mean, but meth dealer's kind of pushing it. Like I don't know if I could
Literally
agree.
pushing it. Get it, pushers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
No, I think talking about the government drug. Oh yeah, genuine,
Yeah.
not genius. That's what he said.
Oh, wait.
Genuine.
Oh.
English is hard.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I went to the army.
Yeah, I played the football.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Oh, good lord.
I just you know,
I was always using stuff.
You know, I've been to places where they've legalized all the drugs, and I'm telling you, that doesn't necessarily solve your drug problems.
Yeah.
My dad was Army too. We're sorry, we won't hold that against him.
Hey, wait.
Navy.
What?
What?
No, Navy. No Navy.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Army all the way. Yeah.
Whatever.
Get Army of one, man. There's a reason why we said that.
Yeah, because you can only count to one.
How many fingers you got? One. Oh, good lord. All right, so another thing I know we wanted to talk about tonight, we were going to talk about Keys to the Golden Vault, but since our least favorite Coast Guard guy stepped away, my grandpa was Air Force too. Yeah, see, he was smart. Your grandpa was smart.
He was real smart.
He was really smart. So
he Mr. Smart Pants.
Yeah, he was a great guy. He was.
Yeah, I gotta think. You will never hear me complain about the Air Force, other than the fact that they do their PT by sitting on a bike, stationary bike, and then they go, "Look at us, we PT'd." Okay.
Yep. I you know what though? I bet you every one of them's got great knees.
I bet they don't, because they still got to wear those pads, man.
Oh God, yeah.
No, I am. Come do some Indian runs on the beach with me sometime in Chicago.
Oh God, I don't even.
Boots.
No, I am not going to Chicago. Chicago is like my least favorite. First off, if you go to Chicago, I'm just going to say it now. You're going to sit on 80 for about 4 hours.
It's not that bad.
Bullshit. I drove 80. every week I was on 80, and I would sit in Chicago. You know, right where like the start of Chicago
O'Hare,
to
Midway.
all the way to
Yep.
the Indiana state line, like about 5 miles outside the state line. That's where you sit in traffic.
Well, they've been working on that road for like 60 years.
Yeah, and then they got a crater like 10 football fields wide.
Yeah,
Right
sometime they'll
underneath
get
the
it fixed.
highway. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like I'm not even exaggerating when I say it's about 10 football fields wide. It is huge. Huge. I don't even understand it. And they have a highway that's built right over it.
That's okay. They don't either.
Yeah, it scares but Jesus out of me rolling over that thing. And you see all the semis, and you know all of us have an 80,000 pound limit, and we're all rolling over this at the same time.
That's what we call a
Yeah.
stress test.
Yeah. Oh God. So, anyways, yeah, Chicago. No, I'm out. I'm nope.
No.
I'm good. So let's see. We were going to talk about keys to the golden vault, but we're not going to now. I guess until toddlers get in bed and some butts got to get busted or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? We're in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. We're in Texas. We
Drive
do that
on,
stuff.
Drill Sergeant. Drive on.
Yeah.
Ah, good
I
time.
got stuck in Chicago once. Yeah, I remember my first beer too.
I wish I could. I don't really remember that day. That tells you what kind of first beer I had. All I know is I started in one country and I woke up in another. And I was like, wait a minute. So I got a good story for you guys while we're waiting.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Have you ever done this game? Okay, you go to Europe with your friends, right? You guys go to a pub. You just crossed the channel, so you're in France. So you go to what we call a fancy pub.
Mm.
And you get yourself a couple drinks because you're gonna take the train from France over to St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay. And you're sitting there and you have a couple adult beverages because you're technically an adult over there when you're more than 16 years old.
Yeah.
And you play this game with your friends. Okay. And the game is this: the first one to get loaded and pass out, we steal his passport, stick him on a train to Russia without his passport, and be in the train behind him. Guess whose dumbass fell asleep first? I speak fluent German. I don't speak a word of Russian. And I woke up about 20 minutes outside of St. Petersburg when they asked for papers. And I'm like,
that's the best.
Oh no. Got detained.
Oh, that's
nearly
awful.
got kicked out of the country. Was afraid they were going to think I was a spy or something, because back then it was a little different. And my friends were howling. They were howling so much. The Russians that detained me did not find that whole scenario amusing at all. But yeah, those were the good old days. We don't do those things anymore.
My first time drinking was in 7th grade, and I probably had alcohol poisoning because of how much I drank. You know?
Were you using a straw? That'll do, pig. That'll do.
We had somebody that had to go to the hospital from 151.
Well, you guys are Coast Guarders.
151 though.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he was like drinking it straight from the bottle. Like,
that's the way you're supposed to drink it. That's how men drink.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, have mercy.
He
says nope. He chugged the 5th in 2 pulls. Wow.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
You're gonna feel that one. Yeah. 6 shots after.
You might leave that one might leave a little bit of a mark.
Yeah. How many brain cells did you have after that?
You know what I say to that? It only kills the weak ones. You're good.
God. Captain Morgan for the 5th, vodka for the shots. I don't think so. That's terrible. That's awful.
Right.
Oh,
I miss those days.
Yeah.
Not.
I loved Germany though. Like Germany, as long as the bar was up to here on your chest, you were able to drink.
Well, know this: if you go to Germany and you decide you want to drink, and you can't handle a Stein, they have a little pippy for you. They don't mess around. Their beer is serious. I'm a Dunkel beer drinker personally. You know, we like our
It
beer
is.
dark and hot,
And it's thick.
Yeah.
and
It's
that's how
not-
men drink.
Yeah.
We're not like Americans where you're effing next to, it's like having sex in a canoe. It's effing close to water. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. Not interested. If I can, and to be honest with you, if I had my beer of choice, I'm a Guinness drinker. Okay, I love me some Guinness. And again, if I can see through the beer, I don't want to drink it.
Right.
Because that's
true.
yuck.
All right. So psych.
We got all up on drugs and alcohol while you were
Yeah,
gone. Go
yeah.
figure.
Yeah. We might
I
need
leave
to.
for a little bit, and
Yeah.
jeez,
It devolves
know,
into the
blinds.
insanity.
The ATF might be watching this stream at this very moment. all
Yeah,
right?
I know. I'm in a dossier now for sure. You were that jackass in Russia.
Right. My kids figured out how to unwrap every single Band-Aid out of a brand new, like, family size Band-Aid
Oh
box.
my
Oh
god.
Lord,
Yeah.
have mercy.
So that's what I walked into.
They were playing ER, were they?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's like literally like Band-Aid wrappers everywhere in
It's
the
Grey's
bathroom.
Anatomy for real.
Yeah. And now they're both crying because the oldest one was told that she could have donuts in the morning because we went to a really nice donut store this morning and picked them out, and I told her she can look at her donuts in the trash can when she wakes up in the morning.
Ooh.
So yeah, so
Daddy's
she's crying
playing
about it right now.
hardball.
So
Yep. He's
So
he's going to
anyway.
get the stink eye in the morning, right?
She is sleeping. She is crying her eyes out right now. So
Yep.
No, you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes
anyways,
tough love's what's in that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's talk about keys to the Golden Vault.
keys from the Golden Vault.
Keys to the Golden Vault because I
From.
need keys.
I don't know.
I need the keys to the Golden Vault because I need to find
So
all the gold.
The Golden Vault is,
And I'm
the
playing a
equivalent-
centaur.
is the equivalent to the CIA of D&D. They are a entity in D&D that tries to do good, and a lot of the good that they do is against the grain. So things that people would normally see as like that's taboo or you shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they still say like whatever it is, it's for the good of whoever it's benefiting at the time. But normally it's a what's that word I'm looking for when they look at it as like it's for the good for the greater cause of the people, not just for the this small amount of group of like people that live in that area or whatever. So
Majority?
yeah, for the majority. Anyways, so they will keep an eye on specific people that are like doing heist or people that have done like a lot of good stuff in the past, or even if they've done bad stuff in the past, whatever it is, as long as they fit the kind of bill that they're looking for, and they'll reach out to these specific groups that work together and ask them to help them in doing some of these other things for obviously like rewards and coinage and all this other stuff that comes along with it. So Keys from the Golden Vault has 13 different missions in it. You can pretty much place it in any setting. The one that I've built out that we're gonna run, and I'm still trying to like get everything. It's gonna be kind of a on the fly DMing experience because I've read through the whole thing and I've built out a lot of the Foundry, but it's still got a lot of work that I could do to it to make it more polished. So, anyways, the idea behind this is, in this circumstance, is that an item has been dug up in an archaeological dig. They think it's some type of a gem or a jewel, and the leading person that worked at their college used to be really big into like occult studies, and has since changed their major to like this archaeological side because the occult studies didn't fit well with like what they were doing, all sorts of stuff. But because they had that background, when they heard about this stone, they started digging into it more, and they're like, that does not look like what you think it is. And so it ends up being this like eldritch egg, um, and everybody thinks it's a stone. And if the team doesn't get in and actually recover this stone or this egg in time, the thing's going to hatch, and basically it's going to start terrorizing, if not the entire like. It would definitely go more than just the city that it's in. Like it may even terrorize the entire like plane that it's in. So again, it's spawn of like an old great one, if you will, right? Like
Mhm.
it's from the Eldritch side, so you don't f around with Eldritch stuff. Like so. Anyways, so the whole idea is they have to go in and try to get this thing out, and um, it's one of those games where it's not a lot of combat. It's more of like if you do get caught, there's way too many guards. There's way too many. Like there's no way you're going to get out of it cleanly. And if you all get caught and kicked out, like you you end the mission, and more than likely the thing's going to hatch too, like while you're there.
Yes.
So if you don't like get it done in a certain time period. So, anyways,
This sounds
And,
pretty horrible to me.
and
yeah.
I'm playing a centaur.
Why a
Yeah.
centaur?
I don't know why they
Okay.
chose.
Let,
I haven't. So listen, I put together a very very detailed D&D Beyond page that steps by step tells you like, listen, you're going to be a group of people that have been playing together for a while, that have been doing heists and all this other stuff, and you're going to be going into a situation where it's not necessarily like combat related. It's how do you get past certain things, or how do you
It's stealth.
get through social interactions. Well, it's not. There's also social stuff you can do, because there's this whole gala that you can go to
Oh,
before the museum closes, and so you can like learn what's there. You can get all sorts of stuff out of it. But there's also a lot of fun stuff that they're gonna find out exists inside this museum too. So,
so
but
so
yeah,
why a centaur though? Why a centaur? Let me tell you why. Because a centaur fighter is freaking powerful. Powerful. Not only can you dual wield, right? But you can dual wield, and then as if you do a charge, you're dual wielding your attacks. As you move past the character that you're attacking, you also have the ability to hoof kick.
I think he doesn't quite get it though. That like if you get caught
It's
in this situation, every
if they live,
No, listen. Every turn, I roll a d8 to see how many more guards show up.
is it going to be high
he's
combat.
going down. He's going down hard.
And on top of that, I have the ability to carry double the weight. So like
Good. You're
my
gonna do well in prison.
Yeah, right.
are you kidding me? You're absolutely right. I'm the strongest mofo in there.
Well, that's fine.
um,
We can double the weight on you.
but
I did it
anyways,
because powerful.
I
Exactly.
specifically pushed it out there that I was like, look, this isn't about like might, power, like strength. It's not like this is like, how do you get in, infiltrate, and get what you need and get
It's
back
more of a
out?
stealth thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and
could go rebuild something else. I really don't care. I
no,
just want to play.
you can
I
do
want to
that.
play.
It's
I've been
fine.
wanting to play a centaur warrior since I built one. A centaur fighter since I built one a couple months ago, and I was like, dude, I really want to play one of these. And so
The
when you
thing
said
is
you want to do this, and I'm like, yep. And you know what? Why? Because I'm going to burn my centaur. Campaigns like that can be fun. Yeah, they can be,
so
but they
the
can also be a pain in my ass because I will pick something that you're like, oh yeah, I could super sneak around and blah blah blah, and then you roll a like 2, and you're
I'm just
like,
rocking the
no,
frying pan. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, exactly, yeah, because you
it's
can
gonna
roll
be
a 20 when it matters the most, and
it's
I
gonna
will
be
roll a 1.
it's gonna be funny when you have to like sneak down the hallway of like
Clip clop. Clip
potted
clop.
plants or whatever it is. Like, good luck with that one. Like, anyways,
We're gonna need a
um,
mage to roll like silence so that I can just
Muffled hooves.
yeah
all right,
exactly.
that's funny. So,
Better put some
anyways,
socks on that thing.
there's some really interesting twists and turns to this. There's, without divulging too much, like there's still ways to make that work.
Uh-huh.
Even though he's doing the centaur thing, like there's still ways to
Exactly.
make that work.
Centaur.
But and so the other thing too is even in the social interactions though, because it states in there that this town has like one of the most well-known colleges. Like I'm sure they get centaurs and stuff. They go to the school there, so it's not like
They're not
it's
very
unheard
known
of.
for smarts, are they?
I don't know.
Mine is.
They're like Marine Corps
So
centaurs.
let me tell you what I did though. Okay. So I rolled instead of doing point buy, I actually rolled, right?
Okay.
And I rolled so freaking well.
Did you use the robot?
Yeah, no, I rolled it on
Okay.
D&D Beyond.
No, the roll I specifically put I specifically and I even stated it, which shows you because I didn't stick figure draw it for him and send it over that way, it didn't
I
get
don't
read.
see
But
anything on there that says that you can't roll your
I specifically stated it was either point buy or use, and I stated exactly where to use it and what to put in the roll stats and all that stuff into the Aviair or whatever it is in our
Let me go and
Discord.
see here.
Uh-oh.
So anyways,
Illegal use of hands call.
right. But
hold on. There is
'Cause
nothing on here that says that you have to.
Immoral dice use.
okay, let me pull it up so because I know it's in there because I wrote the thing in there. I took a lot of time to write this thing out. So if you look under DM notes for public, can you see that?
No, I don't
Scroll
see that.
down. Scroll down below the characters. There's a whole
Rock
section.
makes you
of
Oh,
DM
good
notes.
God! I ain't gonna scroll all the way down. You
There's a whole section.
talk about scrolling on
Step by
freaking the
step.
webpage that we build.
You said what was your argument behind scrolling?
Because I know to scroll down.
No. What was your argument?
That is my argument.
What dummy doesn't scroll down? So
Yeah.
anyways.
And so, but like I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, like I read through all of this right here at the top of it, right above the characters.
There's a whole section in D&D Beyond that says
and
DM
he puts
notes.
yeah, that's DM notes. That's not a
DM notes
character
for the public.
No,
Yeah.
I don't need to know all that stuff. That's not for me. That's for you. That's
This
a
is
DM
literally
notes.
step by step, like what
Good
to
Lord,
do,
have
the
mercy.
character build, and
My
I
brain
put a lot of
hurts.
time to this.
Mine hurts now just from looking at this.
And if you read
Why?
it even tells you what you skipped, and I shouldn't even let you have it now. It even tells you you're allowed to have a rare and 2 uncommon items too in here.
I haven't picked my
And
items yet.
I know, but you haven't read this, so you don't know it exists. Now you're metagaming.
He busted you.
What? I didn't even look. I didn't see
You
all that.
metagamer.
Goodness.
Why am I I'm not even metagaming. I didn't pick my items yet. I said I wasn't.
I put a lot of work into making this thing so you guys would see what to pick and what to choose and all that stuff.
Oh, good Lord, have
yeah.
mercy! Because I
Because it
looked
even
on there.
states in here.
Well, see, I said he goes. I put on there that you should, that you should, or a list of like starting equipment and stuff like that. And I read it, and I'm like, I don't see that. So I guess I'll just wait until we actually get on game, and be like, I don't see where you put the equipment at. And because I was going to point that out to you,
so I have a section
and now you're sitting here,
so it
all the way down at the bottom.
It says
equipment.
It's there.
Ability
yeah.
It says ability scores.
Yes.
You can pick your ability scores in 2 different ways. Use the robot on Discord channel I provided. You can roll 3 times and keep the best roll. And I'll give you details on a Discord channel on how to roll once we get going. And I even put the Discord channel that you can use and everything to go do this, like where it exists.
You know
and
what
then
I did?
The second on here was that you could use like point buy or whatever too. And I even put in how you type it in to get it to roll for you, like the exclamation point and then roll stats, so it will roll for you. Or if you got it below a 9, I even allow you to re-roll that so you get above a 10, and so you roll it with the exclamation point R and then 4d6.
Yeah, he's
got re-roll ones and all that stuff. It's all in there. Everything's detailed.
Yeah, he's got all that crap in there.
Yeah.
I won't sit here and say he doesn't have it in there. I originally read this and I was like, I don't see any of the stuff he's talking about.
Guess who read it? Mondo and Tyler.
Yeah, well, good for them. I guess good for them. They probably knew to scroll down and read the bottom.
Oh man.
Hot rock makes ship go.
Yeah, right. I built. That's what I did. So, anyways, I rolled on D&D Beyond, and I got badass scores. Like
He's like,
17.
I got an 18 and a 17 and a 19 and a
No. I didn't get an 18. I got 17, 2 16s, and then 3 14s. And
That's
I
not
was
bad.
like,
I mean,
hell yes.
And I personally, I'm just giving you shit because I don't care what you guys use for an ability score in a one shot. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but still, like, if we were doing this for the actual game side for purposes of being consistent and like equal across the people playing or whatever, like if they're all rolling in the same spot, everybody sees what they get. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, there's no way to hide, like, oh, this is what my, like, oh, I got this badass like build, and like the same person always has a badass build. Like, well, this puts it into a perspective where you can actually see like what they roll. But anyways, yeah. But the other thing too that I'm
metagamers.
having you guys doing is the 1 rare and 2 commons and 300 gold to start and all that stuff. So
Oh man. So I got to
I
go
love
in
dogging.
and I got to go in there and
well, and then the other person that you sent there, I think you said is your niece or whatever, like
Yeah,
built
my
everything
niece.
off the 2014 rules instead of, because I specifically stated in there too to use 2024. So anyways,
She built everything off the
yeah, I
2014.
went in and changed it. I went in and actually turned off Legacy and all, because she had all the 2014 Legacy stuff turned on, and like she's playing a half elf, which doesn't exist anymore.
I was gonna say they're taking us away, rat bastards.
I thought you were fine with 2014 stuff though.
It states in there that we're doing 2024.
No, I'm saying I thought you were fine with it.
Feel free to choose a pre-built background or use 2024 rules to create your own background.
Listen, Linda, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Linda.
No, I'm not using it because it doesn't like, there's a lot of issues with the spells and stuff. And also the cleric's actually better from level 1 with 2024 anyways. So
they cast sparkle spells.
Yeah.
There's sparklers.
Anyways, yeah, so
a gnome, an elf, a half elf, and a centaur.
Yeah.
All I roll is 20s. Trust me on it.
Yeah. So anyways, she's gonna have to go back in and change the half elf to like a wood elf or something, because it's a half elf wood elf build. So
yeah, I'm sure she won't have a problem with that anyways.
Yeah,
that's it. Won't take her long. So any hoots, what Woody Woodpecker? That's what I heard. What's going on?
Woody Woodpecker.
I don't know.
I did put a little bit more work into this though, because the original is just one map with 2 levels on the map, and like I actually have like a guild house map and a tavern map where you meet this person, and like the first floor, second floor, like attic, basement, like outdoors, like all that stuff. I built all that out in Foundry. So, but
speaking of which, we gotta do Foundry thing anyways. But any hoots. All right. Well, I think we're about at our time. Yeah. Actually, over our time.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, you do. You got to go get on that stream.
Woohoo! Minecraft.
So you guys, just so you guys know, though, I did create merchandise for everybody that does our stream. So even our veteran buddy that's laid up in a hospital bed right now, he's even got merchandise in the merchandise store. I will be linking that to everything soon, so that way we can start selling merchandise. Even Daddy Bro 72 has got his own shirt.
What? Why?
Because wait, hey, you know what? Somebody's gonna want to represent Daddy Bro 72.
I don't know anybody crazy enough to do that. Not even me.
Hey, you know, I mean, you never know.
And
somebody's gonna want to rock.
Stupid.
Yeah, somebody.
Wow.
Somebody's gonna want one of this guy's shirts, and I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any idea. He's gonna be buying his own shit.
Probably.
It's gonna have to have something with a library book in it too, because that
Right.
would be fitting.
Right.
That would work.
So anyways, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is at that time we are going to say our goodbyes. But as we always do, we definitely want to say, hey, if you're a veteran and you do suffer from PTSD, we hear you. Like the three of us here, we hear you. And if you need help, we are here to listen to you. We got it. We get it. We totally do. So reach out to one of us. Maybe not so much, but at least reach out to the other guys.
Mhm.
Um,
Such a hater. Such a hater.
so anyways, but 988 press 1. That's right, and that takes you to psych ward. So he can help you out. Not really. It doesn't take you to psych ward, but it does get you to help. Um, and then if
I
you
don't know.
drink,
You weren't the one that didn't read the rules.
look here, Dick. All right, and I'm not even gonna put in stream. I didn't read the rules because they were at the bottom of the fucking
He needs
screen.
to. He needs to put a picture of himself. I didn't read the rules. That would be
Yeah.
an awesome shirt right there.
The problem was that
I didn't read the rules. That's all it's gonna say.
I made all of my sentences more than 3 words
Syllables.
long. Yeah, no syllables too. Yeah. I broke some rules there too. So now I understand. Like
First off,
he like got into the first like not even paragraph of it and just gave up.
oh my lord, have
Oh,
mercy.
this word.
I wish.
No.
Let's see if I could do this really quick, so this way people can see what I'm talking about.
How
All right.
how do I like draw a crayon on D&D Beyond to look
Right?
down?
Oh my god.
Were your schematics color coded in the army?
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I know they
Everybody.
were.
Everybody here. Everybody. Let's see screen. I understand. Don't show me this again. Let's see if I can actually pull
There's
it
only
up.
one reason all the IFACs actually have like color coding.
Okay.
All the stuff you have to take out of it.
All right.
Right there.
So here it is. All right. Everybody should be able to see this soon.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
there it is. That's the keys to the golden vault.
mhm,
And this is what I read. Okay. I
mhm.
read this whole top part here, and then I see characters. Now, I DM a lot. I don't put in DM notes because why? Because DM notes show up all the way the piss down here.
Because words are
Okay.
hard.
No, because nobody's when you get to here, nobody's gonna read past you.
So what you're saying is, I have to just in the top say "read below."
Yeah,
Like that's
I
the only
would.
thing I put in there from now on.
That it makes sense, does it
Because
not?
there's a section for DM notes for a reason.
Yeah, DM notes is for the DM though.
No, DM
That's what
notes is
DM
for
notes
the
is-
public. It states
No.
in here, DM notes for the public, and I have DM notes that are private that you guys
Yeah.
can't see.
Yeah, see, I see DM notes as DM notes are for the DM, and then you put everything else that you need to know
So why does it
in
say
that
public?
top paragraph. Because there's,
It
some
literally
people,
says DM notes private and DM notes public.
you know why? So that DMs don't feel like they're totally excluded, or characters don't feel like they're totally excluded. That's why.
Okay.
I mean, there are people that are extra sensitive to this stuff, and
I gave an explanation
fight me.
of what.
All right, I
Golden
gotta
Vault
go,
was,
guys.
so.
Fight me.
Y'all are
All right.
a fighting couple, all right. Get a room.
So anyways, yeah, that was that. All right. So anyways, with that, we're gonna end it the way we always do, with this guy over here saying all the good words because he's got the good
Words
words.
are hard.
Yeah.
All right, guys, make sure you get yourself something good to eat. Get yourself something good to drink. Hug the people in your life because you never know how long you have them. Last but not least, if you need help, get help. Getting help does not make you weak. It, in fact, makes you strong. Take care. God bless. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye now.